Hi, my name is Ryan Rucco, WFUV class of 2008. WFUV is your home for all things Fordham athletics, with live coverage of Fordham football, Fordham men's and women's basketball, in addition to our Saturday show, One-on-One. Stay right here on 90.7 FM for all things WFUV sports.
Some absolute geometry to get that one over the yellow stripe, but a home run nonetheless, as that'll bring up Michaela Carter, the Rams center fielder, as she takes a strike inside. What a blast and what a mood shift for the Rams here after falling 3-1.
And this is just the kind of season that Swan's been having. You look at the ERA up over 11, and just things haven't gone her way this year.
There's a ground ball to first base. Stone will have no problem, and that'll do it here. But the Rams get 2 runs on the board from an Ava Karatsis bomb to left field. Rams up 2-0. We will head into a commercial break. Second inning coming up here at Bahoshy Field. Rams softball coming your way.
Hi, this is Spiro Ditas, WFUV class of 2001. WFUV is the epicenter of Fordham athletics, with live coverage of Fordham football, men's and women's basketball, and of course, our iconic Saturday show, One on One. So keep your radios locked in right here, 90.7 FM, for all things WFUV sports.
Welcome back to Bahoshy Field. We might be experiencing some technical difficulties as we move in to the top of the second. We have the Fordham Rams here against the FDU Knights. As Zoe Valdez, the catcher, fouls one off into the netting on the left side, 0-1. Holly Beeman is the pitcher for the Fordham Rams. She led the rotation last year with 22 appearances, 109 innings, 60 strikeouts, and 12 complete games. So she is, as they say, the ace of the rotation. She's the one that they go to when they need some solid scoreless innings, as there's a strike on the outside corner. The count's now 0-2 with no outs here in the top of the second inning.
I know it hasn't always necessarily translated to the stat page this year, but Fordham should feel confident about where their pitching staff is.
There's a ground ball to the left side, through past Carla. Whoa! And there's a play by Kate McGuire. Not in time, the throw. Unfortunately, still a tremendous effort from Kate McGuire to try and get that ball over in time. Unfortunately, Valdez just beat it out.
Yeah, I'm not sure McGuire ever had a chance at that, because Sarlo gets the glove and it slows the ball down, and you got the runner being down the line. There's really no chance for McGuire on her knees to make that throw in time.
So with Valdez on first base, there's a pass ball, and Valdez will scoot on over to second base. We have Finley Carringer at the plate now. Count will be 1-0.
We saw what happened to Devin Miller as soon as trouble started to brew. It affects your mentality. Miller ends up having a wild pitch that leads to a run. It's very easy to say keep the same mindset when there's no one on base. The simple fact is that it just doesn't translate.
Carringer shows bunt and takes. Count moves to 2-0. So it's 2-0 Rams here in the top of the second inning. We've got no out. Valdez on second base, the Knights catcher. Finley Carringer at the plate. That's low. Seems like Beeman wanted it, but the count moved to 3-0, and now we'll see if Carringer has the green light here.
I gotta think they're gonna give her the red light here. Freshman at the plate.
The pitch, right down the middle. It's just how she drew it up, and the count will move to 3-1. So hitters count here. Finley Carringer, the right fielder for the Knights. There's a swing on the high fastball. She cuts right under it, and the count will move to full.
It's early, but I wouldn't diminish the fact that I think there's pressure in this at-bat right now. FDU doesn't get a lot of runs to cross, that when you get a runner in scoring position like this, you got to capitalize.
Beeman delivers a full count pitch, fouled back into the right side of the screen. Count will remain full. Valdez on second base, no out. Rams up 2-0 here in the top of the second. Second game of 2-game set. Fordham Rams lost the first one. Conclude just about 45 minutes ago by a score of 3-1. Beeman looks in on the full count. And that is laced into left center field. That will drop and get past the center fielder, Carter. Valdez rounding third base, and she will stop and hold up and move back.
Fordham's lucky here. Valdez doesn't get a great read on that ball. I think you can tell off the bat that that one's dropping. Valdez tags up, and even with the fact that Carter has some trouble with it, Valdez is not going to be fast enough to score from the second base bag by the time she picks it up.
So that's a single for Carringer. And now with no out, we've quickly got runners on the corners for Megan Berg, the second baseman. Berg 0 for 4. Sees the first pitch of the at-bat, and it's a strike on the outside. Just brushes the outside corner. We've got 0-1 with no outs, runners on the corner. Valdez on third base. Carringer on first. Beeman looks in. 16 delivers. Swing and a miss on the fastball up. Attempted steal at second base. Carringer will slide under the tag. And now we've got runners, 2 runners in scoring position. No force out, no outs, and Beeman's quickly in trouble.
And yeah, you got to think they were trying to draw that throw from Wells, but Wells has such a cannon that I think she can take that risk, throw it down to second, and McGuire ready the whole way, looking to see if Valdez is going to go. And Valdez doesn't have blazing speed, where I like that risk by Wells. Throw it down to second, see if you can get the out. I didn't think Carringer got the greatest jump on that ball, but the throw's a little wild to the left of the bag and allows Carringer to slide in there.
So it seems as though we're satisfied with the result. Parties return to their respective positions, and we will continue ball here. Megan Berg will check back into the box. We've got an 0-2 count here with no outs in the top of the second. Runners on the corner. Runners in scoring position, second and third.
Watch for the high fastball here.
Beeman delivers. High fastball, just as Orlando predicted. And Megan Berg goes down on strikes. That's 1 out.
Beeman needs a strikeout. You got no outs, runners on second and third, and the go-to pitch for a lot of this Fordham staff is going to be that high fastball. Try and blow it by her, and Berg's someone that struggled at the plate today. No chance of catching up to that pitch.
And so Riley Cunningham will check in from the left-handed side of the box. She'll hit a foul ball that'll hit the light pole.
One of the reasons that I really like Chris Foy having Carringer steal second base and no one out here is that you're still in such a predicament where you really don't want Cunningham to make contact or put this ball in play at all. You're at least getting 1 run in, you think, unless it's hit hard right at someone.
So the 0-1 count with 1 out. Beeman throws a nice little, almost sinker ball there on the left-handed side of the plate. Wasn't necessarily a slow ball by any sense of the imagination, but really nice location.
Yeah, I don't think that's the fastest we've ever seen her throw, but it had that nice tailing action away, and that's the type of pitch that's going to tail right away from the lefty bat.
So the 0-2 count is swung on and missed on the outside half. Cunningham goes down, and that'll be 2 outs, 2 clutch outs here. And so Sophia Ayala will check into the plate.
And I'm not sure that's a riser, but I think that's one of those pitches that looks to the batter as if it rises as it gets there. It stays on that high plane. It doesn't come down to meet the barrel, and Cunningham barrel misses right underneath it.
So the first pitch of the at-bat will be right down the middle to Ayala. 0-1 the count. The 0-1 count. 2 out. Popped up on a high pitch. McGuire under it. She will make the play, and that'll retire the side. So yes, there are 2 runners in scoring position, but no one will grace the plate. as the Fordham Rams will come to the plate leading 2-0 here in the bottom of the second. Nick Palmer and Lou Orlando here at Bahoshy Field for the second game of a doubleheader of Fordham Rams softball. We will head into a quick break, but we will be back shortly.
Hi, this is Spiro Ditas, WFUV class of 2001. WFUV.
Hi, this is Michael Kay, WFUV class of 1982. WFUV is your home for all things Fordham athletics, with live coverage of Fordham football, Fordham men's and women's basketball, in addition to our Saturday show, One-on-One. Stay right here on 90.7 FM for all things WFUV sports.
Bottom of the second here at Bahoshy Field. It's the Fordham Rams playing the Knights here. We've got a 2-0 game. The Rams are in the lead following an absolute bomb. So Kate McGuire will check in, the Rams shortstop, who recorded the last out of the inning, as Swan will deliver the first pitch of the inning for a ball inside.
Yeah, Swan gets got by Karatzis in that first inning, and you like to see the Fordham offense come alive. I think you're still miffed about how that last game went.
So there's a strike. 1-1 will be the count. McGuire takes a step and lays off a ball in the dirt. Counts 2-1. McGuire's been off to a really strong start this year, Lou, even though she has struggled in years in the past.
Well, we talked about it in the first game, how nice it's been for most of this season to have her at the 9-hole, and you bump her up a little bit in the lineup. But she's someone I think you can flex throughout the lineup. Good contact bat, gets on base.
There's a foul ball chopped to the left side.
She's been excellent in the field. I thought she had one of the nicest plays defensively that we saw on Fordham's side last game. And yeah, it wasn't the best season for her as a freshman, but she played a lot. And I think that's something that Melissa Inouye did that was very valuable. She gave her freshman playing time, and now you're seeing the results this year.
There's a ground ball to the left side, through for a base hit. That was past to diving Costa. And the Rams are on base here in the bottom of the second.
It's the value of putting the ball in play, and I think the key is that it's not weak contact, right? We saw Devin Miller induce weak contact against FDU and held them perfect through 5 innings. Here with Fordham, even when it's turning into outs, they're making firm contact, and so you're going to find holes like that. It sneaks under the glove of Costa. I think that's a makeable play. That's not going to be a hit every time, but you're going to create mistakes. You're going to create and find holes, and that's exactly what McGuire does. And now you're in another spot where you have run on base, no one out. The world's your oyster, especially with someone like Julia Swan that, quite frankly, has struggled with preventing runs all season long.
And that was really a great piece of hitting and a good sign that they are tracking the ball well, that they're getting ahead and hitting the ball hard, even though it's a ground ball, as Swan and Valdez finish their conference and we return to action here. So bottom of the second, here's Bella Ayala. Takes the ball high and inside, and we've got a 1-0 count.
I think it's the unique situation of doubleheader. You go from Brooklyn Schroyer to Julia Swan. Not even that there's a crazy drop-off in velocity. There's certainly a drop-off.
as there's a foul ball to the right side.
But it's a much different approach. And when you go from someone that's as good as Brooklyn Schroyer to someone that's struggling like Julia Swan, I think one of two things happens. The different look might mess you up, or you've been so dialed in that you get someone that's been struggling and you absolutely lock in. And it seems like it's been the latter.
Swan's junior season as she delivers a ball inside. It's her junior season. Last year, she appeared 22 times, started 13 games. Posted 7 wins and a 3.17 ERA, so certainly respectable in 84 innings of work as she delivers the 2-1. Chopper up the middle and through for a base hit. And it gets past the center fielder. Around comes Ayala. Ayala cruising into third. McGuire scores. Rams 3-0 here in the second. Certainly not a ball we thought would get through.
I think that ball got past 2 defenders that it shouldn't have. First, it gets by Ayala in short, and then it gets by Cunningham in center field, and you just kind of you look up and you shake your head. Ayala stands at third when she probably should have been out at first base. McGuire goes all the way around, it scores, and FDU's shoddy defense poking its head up once again.
So the Rams score in back-to-back innings. Ayala finds herself on third base with no outs, as Gianna Sarlo now sits in the box with a duck on the pond. Oh, and she takes one right to the quad. You could hear that one around Bahoshy as she gets right on and jogs right to first base. We hear a "don't hit this girl, please."
And I think if she hit this girl, there might be a fight because that's her younger sister, Michaela Swan. So, I mean, I think probably a smart move by Chris Foy to go out there and talk to his starting pitcher. Beyond the fact that just the inning is unraveling for her, now she's got to face her sister. And I don't have to tell you how amped up you got to be to face a sibling, someone you absolutely just want to destroy on the mound there in an athletic situation. To me, these are the best parts of whether you see this at the professional level or at the college level. These two have to know each other so well. You know your strengths, you know their weaknesses. A lot of times, I think that benefits the pitcher, and especially the older junior Julia Swan, a couple years on her. Probably more at stake here to get Michaela out. That might come up in Thanksgiving if Michaela gets a little piece on her, so I think there's a lot at stake in this at-bat.
Certainly some mind games going on between these two, and even if you don't have a sibling, this is very similar to facing one of your best friends in sports. You're both maybe smirking at each other, trying to get the leg up on each other, and here we go, Swan on Swan, as there's a throw down to second base. Sarlo's caught in the middle in a pickle, and she is tagged out on her way to second. However, Ayala takes advantage of the situation, sees that there's a rundown, and will score from third base. Some situational base running from Gianna Sarlo there.
Well, Sarlo limping a little bit back to the dugout, but I think that was maybe a set play. I hope that wasn't a straight steal. If that was, in fact, a play of try to draw the run in, she did a great job.
You would have to think that was drawn up. I mean, that was a pretty fantastic high leverage move there as the Rams now find themselves up. Not 3-0, but 4-0 here in the second base. They replicate the 2 spot that they put up on the board.
And to go back to that, you gotta wonder what Stone is doing on that play, completely turning her back to third base. I mean, that is the classic. We saw FDU try and do it the inning before. Try and steal second base, try and draw the throw, maybe draw the pickle. And you got to remember there's a runner at third that's just waiting for you to turn your back and go.
So the swan song ensues with a foul ball into the left field net.
That's good.
As the count stays at 1-2 with no outs here. For 4-0. Rams up. Bottom of the second. Lily and Michaela Swan. Michaela chops it to Lily. Lily puts her away. The older gets better of the younger. And the infielders high-five each other for getting their pitcher out of that jam.
They may be trailing by a lot, but that's still a moral victory, and you know that's an out that Julia Swan wanted to get, and it's a nice job of pitching. Outside pitch, get Swan, the younger Swan, to roll over on it, just a weak ground ball.
The feel-good moment is over, though, as Bailey Enoch checks in. Well, seems like she'll foul one off or maybe not even get a piece of it as the count moves to 0-1 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Rams up 4-0. Julia Swan finding herself in a world of trouble here against a Rams offense that seems to have woken up in the second game of a doubleheader. The 1-1 count, delivery. Foul ball into the right field bleachers. Might need to get the maintenance team on that lamppost. Lou, what has not been going right for Julia Swan here?
I mean, I think she's been a little unlucky with the defense behind her. I think this inning in particular, you can blame a lot on defense not making plays. But to me, she's not moving east to west enough. I think she's attacking location, 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 same spot.
Oh, strike 3. No, it's a foul ball. It didn't seem like she got any of it. Most of the Knights started walking off the field, but the home plate umpires indicated it's a foul ball, and we'll do it again.
You got to change, talking about Julia Swan, you have to change the eye level.
She changes the eye level as there is a strike way high. So we move to 3-2, full count, 2 outs. Bottom of the second, Rams up 4-0. The full count delivery. Inside.
And those are the at-bats, those are the type of reasons that Julia Swan right now is having this season that she's averaging nearly a walk per inning so far through about 21 innings of play. It's when there's no one on, you got to avoid outcomes like that. That's one where you had her in the count and you just start to be a little too nitpicky.
There's a ball outside as Enoch threatens to steal a base, and Enoch will as Enoch does, as Enoch once again finds herself on first base as she continues to do, 2 for 3 in the last game, and now is once again on base. There's a strike outside.
You know, this offense has gone through a lot of different looks the past few years, and really since the graduation of Rachel Hubertus 2 years ago, I think maybe still trying to figure out their identity, but one thing that's really helped them is having Bailey Enoch in their top 3 of the lineup year in, year out for the past 3 seasons. Played every single game last year. She's played every game this year. You can always rely on her to be at the top of the lineup and to produce. And that's allowed for the fact that, you know, I think the bottom of Fordham's lineup the past couple of years really has dropped the ball.
1-2 to Nogue. Taken. Outside.
But they've kept a strong core in their top 4, top 5 that's allowed them to battle in this A-10.
Well, we do have A-10 play coming up here just this weekend. We will be hosting Rhode Island here at Fordham University as there is a strike 3 as she goes over and hacks, and that will end the inning. However, the Rams pick up 2 more as they are up 4-0, and we move into the third. We'll be taking a quick break as Holly Beeman takes the mound for her 3rd inning of work. Stick around. We'll be back.
Hi, this is Spiro Ditas, WFUV class of 2001. WFUV is the epicenter.
Hey everyone, this is Jack Curry, WFUV class of 1986. WFUV is your home for all things Fordham athletics, with live coverage of Fordham football, Fordham men's and women's basketball, in addition to one-on-one, the Saturday Sports Call-In Show. Stay right here on 90.7 FM for all things WFUV sports.
Welcome back to the 3rd inning of Fordham Softball here at Bahoshy Field.
Yelling Crazy Swan, she'll know you're here. Or Crazy Train.
Okay.
Getting some fan input here. If we do want to see Crazy Train, we will hear Crazy Train coming up. We're putting the word around.
Do you have it loaded on the?
We're talking with the higher-ups back here, and
We might get some crazy train.
as Olivia Christopoulos pulls up, we may be having some crazy train in our future as Beeman delivers for the first pitch of the third inning. Lined, hits the line. We will be seeing whether it is a fair or foul ball. We will call it a foul ball. I'm not so sure about that. I saw some white chalk up in the air.
It's close. It's very close, right? It's going to land entirely to the right of the line. That's not a good call.
So for what Christopoulos, I'm sure, would like to be a double, she will now check back into the left side of the batter's box.
I mean, right, you just have to hit the line for it to be a fair ball.
Correct.
So I'm a little befuddled.
Beeman is sure appreciative. And she tries to replicate the same thing, but just a little bit later on this one, and she will pop a foul. And now she's in an 0-2 count. Beeman will try to put her away.
I mean, I really like the approach by Christopoulos. I think it's a much better approach than she took into her first at-bat. That lane is there. This infield's going to have to play up on the left side with the speedy bunt types, which means that shallow left field range will always be open for you.
Christopoulos takes one high. Gets past Wells. She'll toss it back to her pitcher. And the count's now 1-2 with no outs here in the top of the third inning. So FDU down 4-0 to the Fordham Rams after winning the first game 3-1. As she pokes that one down the left field line. But Nogay is there in foul territory on the liner to record the first out of the inning. Nogay really does have quite the radius out there in left field, doesn't she?
I mean, she makes that play look easy, and I don't think it's super easy. She was a little shallow because of the way that Christopoulos had been sending them down the line, but that is still, you see the quick feet. I mean, the listeners can't, but from in the booth, we can see the quick feet that she has in order to get over there.
And there's a ball high to Herring. So one out here in the top of the third inning. We've got a 1-0 count to Isabella Herring, number 0. Both teams have a number 0, as Ava Karatzis wears that proudly for the Rams.
Do you consider it a number?
I don't know how I feel about number 0s in sports.
I think it's a number.
It is certainly a number, but what more importantly, I'm wondering what number 0 says about the player.
I think it means that they're very funny and ironic.
It's a choice.
That's what I would do.
No one, as there's a ground ball to the shortstop, McGuire, Fields, delivers, and it gets past the first baseman. So Karatzis can't pick the ball out of the dirt. I think McGuire will get the fielding error on that one.
Yeah, Karatzis throw pulls McGuire's throw pulls Karatzis off the bag, and she's not able to glove it. Wells is there to back up, but that is a rare miscue by McGuire at short.
So the 0's at first base.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's cute.
Here's Holly Beeman. One out man on first. There's a fly ball into left field. Nogay back. Will field it right at the warning track, right on the fence. That displays all of Fordham's various A-10 conference championships.
Of which there is much to display.
To display.
Yeah.
Might be running out of room on the left field fence.
Stone gave that one a ride. That's one that gets you a little nervous, especially the way Stone's been hitting lately.
So 2 outs here, as there's a swing and a miss. That's Angela Costa at the plate right now. The right-handed batter is the third baseman for the Knights. Trying to replicate what she did in Game 1, where she launched a massive homer as there's a chopper to third base. There will be no play at first, as that was absolutely destroyed. And really, I mean, Sarlo had no shot.
Credit to Sarlo for getting down, getting in front of it, getting a glove on it, but that was an absolute liner. And those are the ones that when coach gets mad at you in IO and he screams, get in front of it, and then he hits the ball as hard as he possibly can, that's that type of hit.
Well, Sarlo will certainly have some battle scars after this one. And the catcher, Valdez, will foul one back. 0-1 the count with 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd inning. Rams looking to split this doubleheader here on this Wednesday afternoon.
Beeman's been no stranger so far in this game to having runners on base, runners in scoring position. So far, she's kept her composure.
There it is, crushed to right field. Doesn't have enough juice on it, as that will retire the side. Swan will pick that fly ball in right field, and that will do it here in the top of the 3rd. So the Knights do not get a run across, and that will be 3 scoreless innings for Holly Beeman. We'll move into the bottom of the 3rd after this break. Rams coming up.
Hi, this is Spiro Ditas, WFUV class of 2001.
What's going on, guys?
WFUV
Bridge Gotham
is
here,
the
your New York
epicenter
Giants
of
beat
Fordham
reporter for
athletics,
WFUV
with live
Sports.
coverage of Fordham football.
Be on the lookout
men's
for
and
weekly
women's
reports and game
basketball,
recaps
and
on
of course,
WFUV's
our
YouTube
iconic
channel.
Saturday show.
We'll be covering the
One-on-One.
action all season long.
So keep your radio.
Feel free to follow me on Twitter at
right here.
BG Bridge for updates throughout the game.
90.7 FM.
For all things Big Blue, stay tuned all
WFUV
season long.
Sports.
Catcher Sydney Wells will come into the box as we move into the bottom of the 3rd inning. Rams up 4-0. Lou, this has been a good offensive performance for the Rams as Wells takes a ball out strike. This has been a good offensive performance from what was frankly an anemic offense in the first game.
I think it was a bounce back that was necessary when you think about A-10 play on the horizon.
Laced down the right field line. Wells is gunning for 2. She will round first. The throw in misses the cutoff, and Wells is in with a stand-up double.
They almost got her. Wells cruised into second base, and that trailing throw from behind, Ayala almost got her on the butt there as she stepped on second base, but in safely with a double.
Certainly was closer than I think she thought it was.
But a nice job of hitting by Sydney Wells that you can add another double to her team-leading mark. That's now 7 on the season.
So Ava Karatsis takes a strikeout side.
It's the point we were making about the Fordham offense. It would be a really tough blow. You'd be able to overcome it, but it'd be really tough to go into conference play off of back-to-back anemic offensive performances.
Karatsis takes a cut on a pitch outside.
I think it allows you to chalk up the first game to, hey, you faced Brooklyn Schroyer, and she's done that to every single team that she's faced this season, basically. That it's a lot easier to live with now that you've done this.
That is crushed into right field. That'll be off the wall. Into second base. Cruises Karatsis as Wells scores. Rams continuing the pattern of scoring every inning. That's now 3 straight innings with putting a digit on the board. Rams up 5-0 over the Knights.
Swan just doesn't have a lot of zip on her pitches right now, and a lot of them are sitting middle. I think you look at the last 2, right? The one that Wells rips down the line, and then that double in the gap by Karatsis. Both of those are way too middle, hard of the plate, and the middle of Fordham's order does exactly what they should do with those pitches.
So, the Rams continuing offensive production. There's a meeting at the mound. And I think it might be about just what you're saying, Lou. Flat pitches, covering too much of the middle. And we could be seeing a pitching change here. They look to the righty. And that'll be number 56, Mary Jane Lemon. From Coachella, California, from Palm Desert, of course. The righty's 5'9", freshman. That'll do it for Julia Swan, though.
It's an early exit. I was very excited for the Swan versus Swan matchup, and it only lasts 2+ innings. She can't record an out in the third. And that, unfortunately, is the way that this season has gone for Julia Swan. Almost without exception, every single game, she's allowed multiple runs, and it's just she's getting hit hard right now. I think it's a tough thing for her to swallow when you look at last year. She was a very reliable starter, and you looked at her as the only returner from that rotation, someone that you could rely on to lead this rotation alongside the freshman you're bringing in. And unfortunately, all of the weight of FDU's pitching staff has fallen on Schroyer and Lamone and a little bit of Mackenzie Myers. It's not been an easy thing for FDU, and they've gotten their wins on the back of this young rotation.
So Fairleigh Dickinson's fairly unproven pitcher here will come into the game. 1-0 with a 2.02 ERA. Lamone delivers her first pitch way outside. Carter's checked into the left side. 0 for 3 in the last game with 2 strikeouts, hoping to build on that.
You got Annie Sullivan pinch running on second base.
She takes the ball up. 2-0 the count. So 2-0 the count. No outs. Bottom of the third, another pitch outside. Lamone struggling to find the strike zone here early.
And she's going to need to, because there's not a ton left in the reservoir for head coach Chris Foy to tip into. You could go to Mackenzie Myers, but other than that, I think they would stay away from Schroyer.
As there's another pitch up, and that's a 4-pitch walk for Michaela Carter. She'll say thank you very much. Runners on first and second. No outs here in the fourth, and Rams poised to do more damage as up steps possibly one of the hottest hitters on the team. That's Kate McGuire.
It's such a tough spot for Lamone to step into, where you'd love to give her a clean slate if possible. Obviously, the start by Julia Swan doesn't allow for that.
As McGuire takes another pitch high and outside. This is becoming a pattern, Lou.
And it's something that once you start thinking about the fact that you can't hit the strike zone or you can't throw strikes, you can't stop thinking about it, and that usually only makes things worse.
1-0 from Lamone, right down the middle.
And that's nice, right, just to get a strike and get back over the plate. But that's a pitch that is going to get clobbered and has gotten clobbered by this Fordham offense so far.
So McGuire's 1 for 1 this afternoon in the second game. There's the second ball, high and outside.
I think she tried to go off speed to switch things up, and just you could tell by her face and the way she shook her head after, just doesn't have a good feel for it right now.
Lamone swinging and a miss on a high fastball. Moves the count to 2-2.
That was her best pitch of the day so far. Put it in a nice spot. Almost felt like it floated up there, but had a little zip to it.
And it was just outside enough to where you couldn't get good contact on it. The 2-2. Floater outside. Called strike 3. Delayed call there. Could have gone either way, but that will set down McGuire. And so that'll bring up Bella Ayala here, the second baseman for the Rams.
Nick, there are fewer things in this world that I hate more than delayed strike 3 calls.
There's a strike outside. 0-1 to Ayala, 1 out. Ducks on first and second. Lamone. The outside balls continue. 1-1. Lou, I'm sure pitching in a tough spot where you can't really seem to find the strike zone is a really difficult task, because there's a ball in the dirt and we move to 2-1. What mental gymnastics does it take, not necessarily in pitching but in any sport, to get yourself out of a rut and get yourself out of a bad mental state where nothing you seem to do can get you to work? Well, there's a foul ball to the right side.
I am I'm a mental head case of my own. I really struggle with accuracy in my high school career, and I've joked with my roommate Jack Warner, who's on the club baseball team. I am very bad at throwing strikes in a 60-foot distance up close. As soon as I get farther out,
2-2's grounded up the middle. As the throw from the shortstop, Ayala's not in time. And so the bases are loaded.
Ayala did not get good medal on that at all, but Sophia Ayala of FDU, the shortstop, I don't think came up on that quickly enough, and Ayala's got enough speed to get down the line, extend this inning. Bases loaded now.
Just a dribbler, and the bases are loaded for Gianna Sarlo, the Rams' third baseman. Sarlo rips one down the left field line, but that pitch was way too far inside to be able to do anything with.
To shorten my point, though, I found that I'm most accurate when I'm not thinking, I'm just throwing hard, but the problem is I can't do that short distance, and so I don't know if it's a direct comparison to pitching, but I think you get into these situations.
0-1 to Sarlo's behind her, pass ball, and in to score, standing up is, pardon me, why am I losing this?
Annie Sullivan.
Annie Sullivan, the pinch runner. Yes, pardon me. Thank you, Lou.
Mm-hmm.
Annie Sullivan came in to pinch run on second base.
You can still tell that it's affecting Limon. The fact that that pitch goes behind Sarlo, you can tell yourself all you want. Don't think, just throw. Don't think, just throw. Even that in itself is an act of thinking. And so that's the mental gymnastics of you're never truly able to not be able to think.
Sarlo rips one to left field. Herring underneath it, but that will be far and long enough for Michaela Carter to score. The Rams put another run on the board, and it's slowly turning into a rout here.
I think if you're Fordham, you can start to dream about, especially if you get a couple more good innings out of Holly Beeman, that you could start dreaming about a 5-inning mercy here.
I mean, if you score this runner from second and Holly Beeman remains on form, we could very much be looking at that. So up steps Michaela Swan. Dribbled out to her sister in her last at-bat. 2 outs here. Rams up 7-0. Just the bottom of the third here at Bahoshy, as there's a swing and a miss on one she tried to get out ahead on. 0-2.
That is maybe not quite an Ephus pitch, but boy, did she take a lot off of that, and at the perfect time because you have Swan running out of the box on that drag-style hit. Never a chance.
Do or die for Swan. Swing and a miss on the fastball high and outside, and that will retire the side, but not before the Rams tack on 3 more. We've got a 7-0 game heading into the back half of this one. The Rams up 7-0 heading into the top of the 4th inning. Stick with us here at WFUV Sports.
Hi, this is Mike Breen, WFUV class of 1983. WFUV is the flagship station of Fordham Athletics with live coverage of Fordham football, Fordham men's and women's basketball, in addition to Saturday one-on-one. Stay right here on 90.7 FM for all things WFUV Sports.
Leading off for FDU, right fielder number 41, Finley Carringer.
So Finley Carringer will come into the batter's box for the top of the 4th. Knights trying to find a run any way that they can as they trail by 7 runs here.
And it has not been the sharpest that we've seen Holly Beeman But what's been her saving grace in this game has been her composure when she's worked into trouble, because she's had issues with the accuracy. She's given up some hard contact, but she hasn't allowed anyone to come to score, and that, to me, is all about her pose as soon as runners get in scoring position, that she's locked down and made the pitches that she's needed to. And frankly, she's been at her best when there have been runners at scoring position. That's when she's really painted the corners and excelled with the fastball.
Beeman truly not making many mistakes this afternoon either. I haven't seen a pitch where I thought, ooh, Beeman really would like that one back.
No, she's been solid. Again, I think that, this season, you raise your eyes when you look at the stats and you go, whoa, the ERA is 4.41. This is someone that led the A10 in ERA last year, was 20th in the nation. And so I think a 3+ ERA drop-off is certainly something that you raise your eyes about, but I don't think there's any reason to be worried about that. Tough non-conference slate, more pressure on her this year than there was last year. Last year you get the freedom of coming in as a freshman, no expectations for the most part.
First pitch is a strike down the middle.
Right now there's expectations. You come in a staff that has Devin Miller, you're expected to be the ace of the staff. That's not nothing.
No, it's absolutely not nothing. You have to remember who you're dealing with. This is an A10 all-rookie player, as there's a pop-up to the third base side. Sarlo deals with it in foul territory, and that'll be the first out of the inning. And just as you mentioned, Beeman, this is an A10 all-rookie, NFCA third-team all-region. Leading the A10 and sitting 20th nationally with an ERA. I mean, even last year, 22 appearances, 3 shutouts. That's not for nothing. There's a ground ball through the hole. And that gets past the third baseman, shortstop McGuire. And that's a single. So, Berg finds herself aboard.
It's a nice piece of hitting by her. I think, again, it's been a bit of a tough stretch for her today, and just honestly throughout this season they've put her at the top of the lineup, and for whatever reason it just hasn't translated, and that's maybe not a hit you'll throw on the highlight reel, but it's one that I think gives you a little bit of a mental breather.
Riley Cunningham's day is done, and Sydney Newton checks in for her. She'll take over duties in center field, it would appear. Cunningham did go 1 for 2 in the game prior, though, at a strikeout and a single. As there's a fly ball to left field. And taking care of it in foul territory is Nogue, deep down the left field line. Could have been trouble. Beeman points to Nogue, says thank you very much, and that'll be the second out of the inning.
And part of the reason that Beeman's still rocking with a shutout, I think, is a little bit of luck. She's gotten some nice help from her defense. She's gotten a couple hits off the end of the bat. They were close to being off the wall or close to being homers that have just stayed in.
There's a ball outside as we have 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning.
Very often in this game, it happens sometimes, but rarely are you going to be 100% dominant on pure skill. You need luck every once in a while. Someone's going to hit a line drive right at your fielder.
Sophia Ayala dribbles one to the pitcher, but it appears to have hit her foot in some regard, as that's a foul ball. So 1-1 the count here with 2 outs. Sydney Newton. Field got on, but here's Sophia Ayala. Ayala pops it up. McGuire calls everyone off and gets the job done. That'll do it here in the top of the 4th inning. Another goose egg for Holly Beeman as the Rams cruise into the bottom of the 4th with a 7-0 lead. We'll be back after a short break here on WFUV Sports.
What's up, guys? I'm Julia Moss.
And I'm Will Talent.
And we're 2 of your hosts for one of WFUV's football podcasts, NFL Friday.
Tune in every Friday for all news and updates around the National Football League.
Also, we'll be making our picks of the week around the league on every episode. Check out NFL Friday wherever you get your podcasts to catch the action.
Leading off for the Rams, designated player number 9, Bailey Enoch.
So here's the top of the Rams order as we get business settled here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Rams holding a strong and commanding 7-0 lead as they look to build on that and hope to go home early. Bailey Enoch takes a strike outside and 0-1 with no outs.
That's a nice pitch by Lamone. Hopefully that sit down has helped her and, given her a little bit of composure because this is going to be a gauntlet of an order.
Enoch walking a strikeout so far.
She's not going to be able to get away with the wild pitches and the pitches over the heart of the middle against Enoch, Noge, and the rest.
So on an 0-2 count, Enoch battles. Slices one down the left field line. It's a fair ball. Enoch rounds first, going to second, bounces off the American flag in foul territory and gets it into second. That's Enoch with a stand-up double.
And that's not even that bad of a pitch. She actually gets it inside on Enoch a lot, but what we've seen a lot from Enoch today is quick bat speed, getting the barrel out. We've seen her do a nice job of driving the ball oppo. Now she turns on that ball and somehow keeps it fair. A lot of hitters in this team, a lot of hitters in D1 softball, I think are curving that one foul, and somehow Enoch stays back in it enough to keep that straight down the line.
And that comes from a great approach. I absolutely agree, Lou. As Nalia Noge checks in. Enoch on second. Noge takes a strike. Noge still hitless this afternoon in both games. Takes a ball low and outside.
I don't think it's gone unnoticed the way that she struggled this season when you go from nearly being the 5th Ram in history to hit 400 to hitting below 190. Again, the same way I kind of talk about Holly Beeman and not being worried, I'm not really worried about Nalia Noge.
Noge faked a bunt there. Another pitch, low and outside. Hitters count now 3-1. Oh, Nelly, go the Rams as Nalia Noge. Looking to get the deciding run here. Low and outside, she draws the walk. Finds herself on base yet again. And Lou, this is how she keeps her OBP so high even when she is going through tough times like this.
I've been there. I know that when you're in a hitting slump, the walks don't always feel great because you want to get that hit that breaks you out of the schneid. But, man, is she so good at working counts. You saw it in the last game, that 10-pitch at-bat she works against Schroyer. You really just don't get Noge to chase all that much. She's got such a great sense of the zone.
And danger, here's Sydney Wells, 3 for 5 on the afternoon in total. As that is lifted into right field, foul. Unfortunately, Carringer cannot get there in time for her.
Lamone kept that low, but if you know anything about lefty power hitters, they love to drop the barrel, and that was closer to a golf swing than maybe a traditional swing, but Wells almost golfed it out of here.
Outfield certainly playing deep for Wells. They know what they're up against as that is crushed into right field. Carringer just in the right spot. Unfortunately, Wells gave that one a ride, but Carringer playing her in the right spot gets the out on the line out.
It's good positioning by Carringer and by that outfield.
First baseman number 00, Ava Karatzis.
So 00 the hero, Ava Karatzis. One out here. Runner on first and second. Ball high, 1-0.
This is not an easy lane if you are a right-handed pitcher.
As there's a pop-up. Second baseman. Berg records the out.
she's battled valiantly. She gets the hard line out to Wells, and then she gets the pop out from Karatzis. But to go Nogue, Wells, Karatzis, Carter, probably the 4 best lefty hitters that Fordham has to offer back to back to back to back, that is a gauntlet for any right-handed pitcher.
But to speak about the 3-4-5 really quickly, I mean, they have certainly had their struggles, at least this afternoon. I mean, Karatzis went 0 for 3 in the first game, Carter 0 for 3, McGuire 0 for 2, and we still haven't seen them at least driving in runs. McGuire did get a hit this game. But we really do need to see an uptick in production. It seems like, the rest of the lineup has picked up from where they left off, but it'd be nice to see this area of the lineup contributing as well.
I think when you key in on the bottom of the lineup, I'm still wondering to see how this season is going to go for Bella Ayala, because I still think back to that all-rookie team season. I think she's got a lot in her.
2-0 count.
I mean, it feels like that 2022 season where they win the conference championship was magical for a lot of different players. It felt like 1 through 9, that lineup just didn't stop hitting, and it's really hard to recreate that, but I still think that talent's in a lot of those bats that are still here from that year.
2-1 to Carter. Called for a strike, seemed quite outside, but Carter will have to deal now with 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. Carter shows bunt, takes it back. Slaps one into shallow left field. The basket catch for Herring, and that'll do it here. Unfortunately, the Rams are unable to scratch across that mercy run, so we will move into the top of the 5th inning as the Knights will have their licks. Come back to WFUV Sports very shortly. We'll be back with some 5th inning action.
Hi, this is Michael Kay, WFUV class of 1982. WFUV is your home for all things Fordham athletics, with live coverage of Fordham football, Fordham men's and women's basketball, in addition to our Saturday show, One on One. Stay right here on 90.7 FM for all things WFUV sports.
Welcome back. Top of the 5th inning action here.
Leading off for FDU, designated player number 4, Olivia Christopher.
So Christopher will get her licks here. Top of the 5th inning. Beeman in her 5th inning of work. 4 shutout so far for her. Just a masterful performance on the mound. The 0-0 swung on and missed 0-1.
Important from an FDU standpoint to hold Fordham scoreless in that last inning. It prevents that, as you said, the 8-run mercy rule, run rule, whatever you want to call it. Still incentive for Beeman to hold them scoreless here and hope for a walk-off in some regards.
Christopel tips one foul, so we've got 0-2. Beeman ahead yet again. This has been a trend. Christopel 1 for 2. Beeman looks in and delivers. Swing and a miss on the fastball high and outside.
Just a half-hearted swing from Christopel, and not much she could do with that one. I'm not sure that that's a strike, but that's a great 0-2 pitch. Up and away, you get the chase. It's probably too close to take from your leadoff hitter with no one out. And so she's got to give an offer at it, but it's not one she's going to be able to do much with.
That's certainly one of those pitches where halfway through swinging, you realize that you might not get to that one, and all you can do is take a hack.
I think she realized it halfway through.
Sometimes that happens, though. Sometimes you know you're beat before you even hit the ball. And there's an 0-1 count as we move on to Isabella Herring, number 0, the left fielder for the Knights. So Herring facing off against Beeman. Beeman looking to continue her dominance. She winds up and pitches. Ball outside. Gets past Wells. One and one the count. Beeman. Bunt attempt. There was no netting. Think I might have a bruise on my face.
I think I could have caught it.
Then I could pretend I'm John Sterling and maybe the Yankees would give me a shot.
Maybe. Can you pitch?
Like I said, the count is 1-2 with one out here in the top of the 5th inning. I used to be able to pitch.
Same.
Threw too many curveballs as a young lad.
Oh, do you also suffer arm fatigue and get an MRI, and now you're at 1 to 2 months to start the year?
My growth plate
is that just Garrett Cole?
Broken.
My goodness.
Or disrupted, sorry.
Disrupted.
2-2 the count with one out here in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, tendonitis once.
How'd that go for you? As there is strike 3 called, they'll throw it around the horn. So Herring set down here, and that'll bring up Aiden Stone.
It's another really good pitch by Holly Beeman, and we're at the point now where she's just putting the ball wherever she wants. It doesn't really feel like anyone in this FDU team has been able to catch up to her fastball in a minute.
Do you think there's an element of mental fatigue for this Knights team as there's a single into left field? It would be if Noge wouldn't have an absolute beauty of a range and catch that one basket style to retire the side. So no runs for the Knights because of Noge's excellence in left field. If there was a Gold Glove award, I'm pretty sure Noge might get it, but that'll do us for us in the top half. Rams looking to close this one out with a mock walk-off, if you want to call it that. Rams need 8 to end this one early. Come back. We'll be right here on WFUV Sports.
Hey everyone, this is Jack Curry, WFUV class of 1986. WFUV is your home for all things Fordham athletics, with live coverage of Fordham football, Fordham men's and women's basketball, in addition to One-on-One, the Saturday sports call-in show. Stay right here on 90.7 FM for all things WFUV sports.
Welcome back to Fordham Softball. Rams up 7-0, looking to close this one out. All it takes is one. All it takes is one run. All it takes is one hit. All it takes is one swing, Lou. And we could be headed home.
Lamone pitched a scoreless inning in the 4th.
As there's a foul ball back in the net for Kate McGuire. McGuire 1 for 2, 1 strikeout so far. .309 on the year, hovering above that 300 mark as that is laced up the middle. Hits the leg of Lamone, and she cannot make the throw in time to first base.
That is the second, I would say, maybe unorthodox hit right now by Kate McGuire. I think the first one slips under the glove of Costa, and that one is 100% off the end of the bat. You're not worried about Lamone getting hurt by that. And it just hits her ankle and rolls away from the first base bag. And especially with the shorter distance from home plate to first base, there's no way you're throwing out Kate McGuire. So she's had 2 hits in an odd fashion. But you're looking at the scoreboard, won't be able to tell.
Single's a single's a single's a single.
Ain't that the truth?
All right. So Bella Ayala will find herself with a runner on first. No outs here. looking to scratch across that all-important 8th run. Ayala against Lamone. Takes one low. Ayala struggled the first game, went 0 for 3, but finds herself 2 for 2 with an RBI so far.
Yeah, maybe you throw an asterisk on the RBI. It's not technically an error, but the one that gets by Ayala and then Cunningham in center field. But it was still a rope by Bella Ayala. A great piece of hitting.
The 2-0. Check swing. No go, says the first base umpire.
You really do have to get into a softball to hit it so fast that it rolls all the way to the wall and gets past a D1 center fielder.
The 3-0. Assume the take sign was in effect there as the count moves to 3-1. Hitters count for Ayala. And I think you're right. I think we need to give Ayala her flowers here. I mean, that was absolutely laser. There's no question about that. So an earned 2 for 2, we could say. The 3-1. Left high. Runners on first and second now. And we'll move to Gianna Sarlo.
You thought that maybe that first sit down had vanquished the control issues that Lamone had, and maybe you chalked it up to how warm was she when she comes in the middle of that third inning and inherits runners, but now control issues rearing their head again, and you've got a runner in scoring position and no outs. I think I smell a walk-off.
Sarlo! See you later! Gianna Sarlo is mobbed at home plate after blasting a walk-off 3-run home run to end this one early in the 5th inning. The Rams take home a decisive 10-0 victory as the Italian Gianna Sarlo sends one to the stars. Rams win 10-0 over the Knights.
Wow, my goodness, Nick, did she get into that one? The first home run we saw today, Ava Karatzis, more of a wall scraper, just gets over the yellow pole in left field. This one, I mean, you said it, no doubt about it. See you later in deep left center field, and that is the way this game went for the Fordham offense. A heck of a rebound. Listen, you get shut down by Brooklyn Schroyer, but boy, do you come back with an absolute statement. Put up a 10 spot in 5 innings. That's got to have them feeling good going into conference play.
So a touchdown and a field goal for the Rams as they win 10-0 in softball over the Knights. I want to clarify there. The Rams feeling good after dropping the first game of this 2-game split doubleheader today. Drop the first one 3-1, come back with a commanding 10-0 win. And how about Holly Beeman today?
I thought Holly Beeman was excellent. I think I got a little worried at the beginning. Felt like control was off, wasn't super sharp, but as soon as runners got on base, she locked in, she executed when she needed to, and I think she put FDU to sleep. When you watch the at-bats 3, 4th, 5th inning, maybe lifeless is a little too strong, but it felt like a lot of the energy had been taken out of FDU's bats, and I think part of that is the fact that Fordham gets on the board so quickly, but Holly Beeman does her role, locks it down in the circle, and allows for a 5-inning run rule game for a strong Fordham victory that, again, should leave Fordham feeling good as they start their conference slate and have aspirations of getting back atop the A-10.
Strikes, Swans, and Sarlo. That'll be the story here from the doubleheader here at Bahoshy Field. The Rams split it with the Knights 1-1. They will be moving into A-10 conference play with a game against Rhode Island this weekend. Make sure to turn in for that. But for WFUV Sports, I'm your play-by-play commentator, Nick Palmer, alongside my color commentator and great friend, Lou Orlando. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you guys this weekend. Stay safe, everyone.